What's up, guys and gals and everything in between? Today I am planning on doing a little HVLP painting and figured why not just throw it up on the channel. I had a request from someone to do an HVLP painting video, so I've been working on this 03R1 for quite some time, and the bike has been here so long. I had the plastic stored to keep them from getting damaged, but part of them were stored in my house, and I have a family, and when it comes to cleaning, they like to move stuff, and as a result, some of the plastics got scratched. So what I did to get to where I am, just in case somebody's out there starting from scratch, you can see the sanding process, then wet sanding. The only thing that I probably won't show is just me washing them, drying them, and like right before I do all of this, I go back and I clean them again. It rained today. The rain didn't really do much damage to anything, but when it rains, the wind blows, that brings a lot of dust and debris. It settles on top of the plastics. When you paint it, you'll see it, even if you can't see it now. But I will tell you guys, when you are doing your sanding, especially the wet sanding part, do not trust your eyes. The best thing to do, use your hands. When you sand it, rub over it with your hands, especially while it's wet. You'll be able to feel any imperfections, and sand in a circular motion when you can. I think that is all that I'm missing. I don't want to bore you guys too long with talking, but I do want to make sure that you get a clear understanding of what I do. I am painting outside, and that's part of the process of saving money. A lot of people don't have a paint booth that they can go to paint, but a lot of people would like to try to experiment painting their motorcycles, helmets, or any other little small objects or small jobs. So I also want to point out that to paint these fairings, I'm using a full-size HVLP paint gun, where normally I would not. Normally I use these detail guns. They're smaller, and the reason is, when I use these guns are made for painting cars, big objects. These are detail guns. They're made for touch-up paint, you know, small stuff. So with the size of these fairings, they're not very big when you break them down, but I already started using this when I did the upper fairing, the tank, and the tail section, which the tail section on these 03s are huge. Matter of fact, this is the tail section. Thing is huge, it's massive. So this bike actually does require a good bit of paint. So I haven't used one of these things in years, but today I decided to use it. Well, actually a few days ago I decided to use it when I did the upper fairing, the tank, and the tail section. And when you're dealing with pearl paint, guys, another thing, pearl isn't the easiest paint to match, mainly because you have to have the same ratio each time you do it, amount of pearl that you add to your clear coat. So that's the reason why I couldn't just stop at the upper fairing, the tank, and the tail section. Because of the upper fairing being connected to these fairings, I had to go back and redo these fairings as well, so that everything would match and flow together as one color. So keep that in mind. If you're doing pearl paint jobs and you damage one of the fairings, it might not match up if you just go back and redo that one fairing. You may end up going back to have to redo all of the fairings. So once again, show you guys step by step, starting process to the end. So if you do decide to use HVLP outside, which I'm going to be the first to admit, it's not the best idea, because you're dealing with nature, which is unpredictable. You have wind blowing, you have insects flying around, landing on your paint. You got debris blowing from the trees, all kinds of stuff that can make your paint job go wrong. And then you have to wait for this stuff to dry enough, wet sand it, and do the whole thing all over again. So believe me, painting outside is a pain, but you do save money, and as you do it more and more, you get better at it, so that it's not as big of a headache as it used to be. Still not the best way to go about it, but as I said, everybody does not have a paint booth. So enough talking, let's get to work. I've already prepped the fairings. So now we're to the stage to where we can paint the fairings and hopefully clear coat today and be done with these things for good. One of the last things I need to do is repaint these fairings. Then there's some minor things I need to do on the bike. I started a series on that bike, but man, it kind of got cut short because it was like a lot of starting and stopping. So I just kind of abandoned that whole video series. If I can edit it properly, I'll probably go back to it and finish it off. Now that, he's ready to kind of close that chapter out, we're going to start mixing the base coat. After we mix and spray the base coat, I'm going to come back. We're going to mix the clear coat. With the clear coat, I'm going to add pearl to it because the color that I have for this bike is called, well, I can show you better with this one. It is called, it's a Dodge color. It's called Go Man Go, which is basically a mango orange color. And you might not be able to see it very well. Try to get the sun in there. But it's basically an orange with a little bit of gold flake in it. The color that he wanted was like the Lamborghini orange. And if you've ever seen the Lamborghini orange, it has this gold pearl look to it. It's not something that you can easily replicate, but when you're on a budget trying to do stuff, this is pretty, well, close enough. I'm not even going to say it's pretty close, but it's close enough. I want to show you guys some of these fairings. When I sanded them, it went through the base coat, the clear coat and the base coat, so it exposed the white here. So what you're going to see me do first is I actually have some red spray paint, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to cover these white spots with that red spray paint first, and that will make my job easier on the painting side, because if I use this orange paint and I just go ahead and spray everything right now, you'll be able to see the white through that orange, and I'll have to go back. I say orange, but the mango, so I would have to go back and put more coats of paint on than I really want to. So to eliminate having to sit here and just waste paint trying to cover up this white, I'm going to spray it with some red, and then I'm going to come back. The red is basically going to act like primer. Then I'm going to come back and spray the whole thing with a couple of coats of that mango orange. And then, as I said, we will get into the clear coat, which is a gloss with gold pearl added to it. So let's get it. All right, guys. So basically, what I just did was a couple of coats of base coat, and now time for the clear coat. And I am going to rush this a little bit, simply because the sun is starting to go down. So it's going to take longer for this stuff to dry. And secondly, mosquitoes are starting to come out. Like I told you guys before, it rained earlier today, so it's getting cooler outside, and the mosquitoes enjoy it. Yep. So like I told you guys earlier, it started raining a little bit earlier in the day. Now that the sun is starting to go down and it's still pretty saturated out here, mosquitoes are starting to come out. And if you know anything about Texas mosquitoes, man, I do want to show you guys the steps for this, the little process for this. Got my clear coat. It is a 4-to-1 ratio, which means it is 4 parts clear coat and 1 part activator, which is this guy right here. And I do use shop line stuff most of the time, guys, because shop line is a sub product of PPG. It's basically the cheaper paint, but I've never had a problem with it. So this is actually a 4-to-1 ratio. 4 parts clear, 1 part activator, then 1 part reducer, which all this clear coat really calls for is just 4 parts clear and 1 part activator. But when I first started doing this painting stuff, I actually used to use reducer because the guy that showed me how to do it did it. I think it was the paint that he used, and I've been doing it ever since. I really haven't had an issue with it. You know, it just stretches the paint a little bit more. I just want to tell you, if you don't have a local paint store nearby, I know that AutoZone and O'Reilly's and Advanced Auto Parts, places like that sell paint, but I would encourage you to not use that paint. Do not use that paint. Use that paint before, and it's like crap. It's like water. So it doesn't do a very good job. And like I said, this is a cheap route as far as paint goes, using Shopline. But if you use that stuff at AutoZone, Advanced Auto Parts, and all that, you're asking for trouble. This is the crown jewel right here, the gold pearl, or pearl gold, I guess you should say. And that's kind of what it looks like. I don't know if you can really tell. Matter of fact, let me. It says gold. So I only have a little bit of this left, so I hope I don't make any mistakes. But basically, we're gonna take some of that. It doesn't take a lot. Look at that. It doesn't take a whole lot. Just dump that in. And the amount that I have left, that's actually a lot. So we take that bad boy, start mixing it up. You probably can't see it as well now because it's not as light out as it was earlier, but you'll definitely be able to see it in the paint. And what's crazy is that this paint already has gold flakes in it. I hate when people say gold glitter or gold sparkles when they're talking about paint jobs. Now fishing boats, yeah, but like when it comes to this stuff, nah, man, this isn't sparkles or glitter. It's flakes, or it's pearl flakes. So that's what it looks like once you get through mixing it up. Good deal, because all it'll do is kind of add a little tint of orange to the clear coat, which does not hurt it at all. That's actually how you paint your tail lights and different clear plastics, to be a tinted color. Might do that on another video, show you guys how that stuff works. Alright fellas, so that is going to wrap up this video. If you like that, give me a like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff for your boy. I think moving forward, man, I might do a video or a few videos painting helmets. It's not something I really do, but it's something that I do dabble in every now and again. Really haven't done much to show off, but I might show a couple of clips of the helmets that I have done in the past. I really never finished them because for one reason or another, I didn't like the way they came out. So I've never really finished a helmet that I started painting. So that might be something I'll do in the future. But yeah, if you guys have any ideas or suggestions about videos to do later on in the future, drop them in the comments, man. I read them, obviously. That's why I did this video. And I don't get a whole lot of them. So it's not like, it'll take me days to go through them. So, yeah, drop your boy a line with any kind of suggestions or things you'd like to see, moving forward. I'll probably do another video at some point also using rattle can paint to show you guys how to do that if you haven't seen one of the previous videos, which if you've seen one of the previous videos, namely the Rumblebee video, I did that entire bike with rattle can and I clear coated it the same way that you saw me clear coat this bike. What else do we have? These mosquitoes are out here killing me, eating me alive. So I'm trying to wrap this up real quick for you guys. But yeah, man, if you guys like the video, like, share, subscribe, and until the next one, man, stay safe, be blessed, and holla at your boy.